and passionate about social media for sure. Yeah.
Look, I got to say, when we sat down and we had a chat a couple of months ago, just different things that you popped up really resonated for me from the point of view that you weren't just talking about one social media platform. It was all across a range of platforms. And you were thinking about the marketing strategies behind it as much as you were thinking about as much as you're thinking about, it wasn't Facebook or LinkedIn, or you even brought up TikTok, and that was the first time, that I'd really heard much about that. It was really funny because I got home and said something to Melissa, and she said, "What on earth is this TikTok?" And I went, "Oh, that stuff." And I was able to talk to her about it. So you are a guru. You enlightened me, and I'm sure you're going to enlighten everybody else today.
Thank you.
Yesterday we were chatting and we came up with a little special project that I have.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes.
And you went, "Kevin, I can help you with that." And I went, "Carolyn, I would love that."
Yeah.
And then we started discussing different tactics. I said, I think rather than do that now, this would be really good if we did it live so people could see how you thought and people could see the process. But in doing so, we can even teach those that can't afford to come and see you, they will get the basics of what they need to do for their program, their content.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's really what we're trying to do
here. And what you were saying to me yesterday resonated so much, because so much of what we do here at Hawthorn Social is because we're passionate about small business. And I know you have the same heart and the same passion. And so sometimes we need to put aside, like, obviously money is important. We're all in it to make money. But when we work as a collective in support of small business, we will get more done and we will see everyone succeed. And that's the goal, really. Like, we want everyone to succeed, not just ourselves. Like, let's spread it around. And so that's why I just resonated with what you're doing.
Absolutely. And I really appreciate the fact that you did resonate with that. And I've lost you for a second now. I'm sure you'll come back. There you go. You're back all of a sudden. I don't know where you went, but you just disappeared for a minute. Now, that's the beauty of live shows. I've got to say, you just got to put up with everything that's there. So I'm not getting any feedback. Are you getting extra feedback when I'm on the phone?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. For some reason, I have just lost the ability to hear what you were saying. It's something's
what
going
I
on
say isn't really important.
I can see you talking, but I can't hear it. I'm not sure what's going on.
That's okay.
We have to do sign language or something.
I'll try and do a little bit of a song and dance while Carolyn does that. I can hear you perfectly.
You can hear me. Okay.
I can. There'll be a little microphone bottom left-hand corner. Go to the bottom left-hand corner.
Okay, and that side, yeah.
And there's a little mute microphone button. Click on the cam mic little cog wheel thing. She'll be back in a second, I promise. It's going to be a really interesting show. What Carolyn's going to help me do is actually come up with a strategy and a campaign around helping us promote the sign the petition to help small business get some recognition. With that, that's excellent. With that, that's going to help us help you understand how to build a petition. I'm just going back and telling people what we're going to do. So apparently some people didn't like the flippant approach I had that, hey, if you don't, I'm going to get this cheap. But what I meant by that was that Carolyn's going to help me build it, and that's the beauty of that. So, Carolyn, when we're starting about thinking about a campaign, what do we think about first?
We definitely have to go into the why, and your why has to be so solid. Look, I'm just going to be like super blunt here, and if your why is to make money, it's not going to be as successful because so we need passion to make money, but we also need a deeper value than that. There has to be like a core why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Because if you're just in a job to make money, you'll do anything. You're not going to invest your heart and soul into it. And over time that can wane. So once you have money, the passion for what you're doing drops because you've achieved your goal. But if you have a deeper why, something that spurs you on even after you've made money, that's what will keep you growing and going. So figuring out the why, and that's why the why with this small business and seeing getting help for our Queensland small business. That's a deep why. That transcends money. That's about the collective.
If,
that's
if
the
you
first
follow
place to start.
if you follow the journey of business, small business, you'll know that it's not been about making money. We've built this out of pure passion and everything else. The group has kind of overtaken everything, and that is my heart and soul, is trying to help.
Yep.
If I could get everyone in the group to be doing business exclusively with each other, none of us would have felt the impact of coronavirus.
Exactly. Yep.
Because we would all be so busy helping each other out, and that we'd all be making money, and we'd still have the money to spend with each other, helping each other make out. Now, there are some cafes that are going through hell, and some hospitality businesses are going through absolute hell, and I get that. But we could have found a way, and we would be finding ways together. And in fact, I was approached last night about a guy who's got a competitor, Uber Eats, here in Australia, and I want to get him on board so that I can then start reaching out to all the cafes and restaurants in here and say, we've got someone who's going to deliver. The money isn't going to be leaving our economy, but you'll have delivery drivers and a local thing. I don't know what he's charging, and that's part of what I need to find out. But this is what I'm saying. There's solutions within our community to help our community.
Absolutely. And then
it's been my driving passion. Yeah, it's been my driving passion and often my frustration that people don't jump in, and everybody wants it for free, rather than saying, if I invest a little bit, many hands make light work. And if we invest just a small amount so that we can all find each other easily, so that we can all do this, then we can invest in programs like approaching the Queensland government to give us all grants.
Absolutely. And also, too, thinking outside the box. So you might have a business and you know what your customer database is, and there's another business out there that shares exactly the same customer database as you, but is not in direct competition with you, or they could even be in direct competition with you. Drop the scarcity mindset. Drop the belief that, hey, if I help, or if they're going to, they're going to be detrimental to me, and learn to work in the collaborative, because there is more than enough for everyone to go.
Quick little question, Carolyn, on that issue. If I delivered 8,000 clients to you tomorrow, what would you do?
I'd say thank you, and then have to go hire a heck of a lot of staff.
You go into meltdown. Let's be honest. You go into meltdown. Even as a recruiter, we've talked about this. Even as a recruiter, there's no way you could service them all, right?
No, I would give them out to other people, and I'm pretty. We're a social media company, and we're totally secure in what we do, to the point where we have no problem referring people that we can't manage, or maybe we're got a full quota. We'll refer them to other people. It's no hassle. Everyone's got different strengths.
Well, that's the whole thing. And you might be awesome with one particular audience. You find this is your heart space and your niche, and you find someone that is so far outside that wants your help, and you go, I'd love to help you, but the best help I can give you is I'm going to send you down to Jo down the road.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because she's awesome at what she does too.
Yep. Absolutely.
Jo, if you're listening, I just made that up. So have a big why. Absolutely have a big why. Know what it's about.
From that why is you're going to be able to get, because for social media marketing, it's all about tapping into the emotional triggers for people. And when your why is solid, you'll understand the emotional triggers of what you need to target for people. So when I know I've been harking back on a bit. So when it's all about money, your content tends to be all about sales. So it's buy this, buy that, and it becomes very me focused. Buy from me, me. Social media is social. We're looking for connection. We're looking for relationship. We get enough sales in our bricks and mortar environment. We don't need it on our social media. We want connection. We want relationship, and we just want to hang out. So when you're targeting your content on that deeper emotional level, it's going to resonate with people because you're being genuine and authentic.
Absolutely. And I do wear my heart on my sleeve from time to time. So, I do actually have an edit button, which is strangely enough. So even the raw emotion that people see, that's after it's been edited. So I do have red hair, live to that. So one, know your why. So obviously my why is I want to help small business, and the Queensland government at the moment don't.
Yeah.
Right? I want them to start helping small business.
Yep.
And put small business back on the agenda. So understand the emotional triggers. So understanding that and understanding the emotional triggers, I want to harness the power of small business. There's 438,000 small businesses in Queensland. There's 970,000 employees in small business, according to the Queensland government stats.
Yep.
Now, even if we're looking at the greater Brisbane area, the council have told us there's 200,000 of those 438,000 small businesses are in the greater Brisbane area. Okay.
Yep.
Now we know that there's 2.2 employees per small business. Somebody asked me about the 0.2 employee, and I said, look, I don't know. I think we just need their right arm or something like that. But the reality is, currently we've got 9,000 members. Yep. That equates to around 20,000 employees when we have 2.2 each. We're just a little bit shy of it. Let's exaggerate to 20. I would love to see, 5,000 signatures on this petition. I'd love to see 10,000. I'd love to see 20,000. That would be awesome. At above 15,000, it would be the most signed petition in the history of the Queensland Parliament.
Yeah.
So if we could activate that 970,000 Queenslanders employed by small businesses and just get 15,000 signatures, 1.5%.
Yeah. So my challenge then is to all the small business owners that are watching this right now, why haven't you signed it? And why haven't you shared it? It's so important you understand the magnitude of what we're facing. We are probably in the grips of one of the worst crises to have hit for a while. And for a lot of new business owners, this will be the first time you've been through something of this magnitude. And when you step back and you look at the assistance or the lack of assistance that's being offered from our own state government, we should be up in arms about this because we deserve better. Look, and this is a huge deal and it needs to count.
And the federal government has helped us have a baseline of salaries, which is absolutely fantastic. But what a lot of us don't have after that is any money to do the work that we need to do on our business. We know we need to be building social media campaigns. We know we need to be fixing our marketing or our website or our automation or our accounting or getting better strategies around our finances or, creating a business plan or I don't know what your particular thing is, but there's stuff that we could be doing working on our business now that when it comes July and, if the federal government plan of everybody kind of getting back to work in July, then we're all scrambling for work and all the stuff that wasn't done before we came into this still isn't done, then we're not going to have time to do it still because we kind of missed the window.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's where if the state government is as invested into the, getting the economy back up and running as they are saying that they are, then why aren't they doing more to help us get back on our feet when that time comes? I mean, JobKeeper and JobSeeker have been amazing. And, I think the federal government have definitely put some great initiatives out there, but we need more. There's a lot of small businesses that are falling through the cracks as well in terms of what assistance is out there. I know our business personally, we didn't qualify for any of the grants or anything that was available. So we've just had to keep going through the best we could. And I know there's a lot of other people out there in the same boat.
Absolutely. Now, we've got stuck on the issue, not on our campaign. So let's get onto our campaign. Number one, and we got stuck on the issue because it's a heartfelt space for both of us. So know our why, make sure it's from a heartfelt space. Absolutely. Make sure it's for the greater good, not just your bottom pocket, but not just fattening your pockets. As somebody rudely pointed out to me when I suggested last week that they needed to join to put in a post that was promoting their business. Two, understand the emotional triggers. Now, even in discussing this, you and I both got very triggered by the conversation. So it is a heartfelt space. Let's tap into that. So what's step 3?
So now it's about getting the message across to people. So we know what we want to say. We know why we want to say it. Now we need people to hear it. So this is where it comes into more of a technical arena. So comes down now to your content creation and the vehicle by which you get your message out there. So I'm a really huge believer that video is a great way to get your message out quickly and effectively and to convey the message that you want to say. And I think that's one of the great things that I love about the Brisbane Small Business Group is that so much of your content you're putting out is video based. And I know in the members directory that you're offering these videos that you do and then you repost them back into the directory. Business owners need to be jumping on that because video is the top ranking content for engagement at the moment. So if I was to construct content for this campaign, I would grab my trusty videographer, Alex, and we would go out and we would interview small business owners that have been affected by COVID and haven't been able to receive any assistance. And I would get them to tell their story and I would get them to tell it from their heart. And then I would edit it together, very similar to a political video you might see in a campaign leading up to an election, purely designed to pull out the emotion for that issue so people can start understanding what a big deal this is and how it's affecting people. I would then make sure that video is in the right format for the channel that I'm going to be putting it out.
Hang on, you've jumped ahead here.
Sorry.
I'm gonna give a shout out. If anybody has been affected by COVID and they're feeling a bit emotional about it and would love to help us with this campaign, can you put a comment below because we will reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Carolyn and Alex may show up at your front door, standing appropriately distant from you, or we may even
Zoom lens, so we can like literally stand at the door and just zoom to you sitting down. So with all social distancing.
Even if you're too scared of that, but you'd be happy to jump on and have a quick little live session with me on here. I promise. I do make it fairly easy for people to chat, even if we lose them. I keep carrying the show. So I love live stuff. Anything can happen. So if you are affected by it and you'd love to put your hand up, please just put a comment below. We'll reach out to you. If you're not brave enough to put a comment below, but you would like to, please send either myself or Carolyn a quick personal message just through Messenger. We'll be checking the filtered messages over the next few days to get some of these because we'd love to be able to tell your story to the Queensland government. It's not about telling your story to everyone else. It's about telling it to the Queensland government.
That's right. And we have a state election coming up in October 31st, I believe. This is going to become an issue of importance really quickly. And I think we can leverage this to our advantage if we're smart, because everyone is looking at how is the state government handling the COVID crisis. And a lot of that's going to impact on the voters in October. And so let's make this an election issue even, and let's get that attention. Let's get the attention of the politicians and say, come on, guys, we need your help.
Yeah, when I reached out to my local politician, he jumped all over it. That was Tim Nichols. There's an interview with him and I on last Friday about that. He jumped all over it. He said, look, we have been asking for more help. I'll send me the thing about, but let's redevelop an entire floor of the precinct. Not put money into small business, but put it into a construction company to rip out and redesign a floor of the precinct, because that's really where the money's needed for innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shannon's announcement has been amazing for small business. They have released some really great initiatives.
There's been some awesome initiatives, but they've just gone missing right now. It's as if they've all run for the hills in the midst of a crisis.
Yeah.
So
let's just pick that ball up.
Emotional. So if anybody can put their hand up, great. I know some people and I'll be reaching out, and I'm sure you know some people. I'm sure you'll be reaching out. The more stories we have, the more we can create a really cool little collage. That would be great. The more we can spread this message further and wider, because this isn't just a Brisbane small business issue. This is a Queensland small business issue. So understand our why, understand the emotional triggers. I think we're there. Get the message right, and the message is how it is affecting the person on the street.
Yep.
Us. because at 2.2 people per business, that's easy to overlook.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
at 970,000 people, it's hard to overlook.
Yeah.
And what the state government have done to now is divide and conquer, and they've done a really good job. So, so number 4, after we've gone out, we've selected video as our thing, and that's what we're going to do. What do we do next?
Okay, so then it all comes down to your actual campaign. I personally choose to operate more on an organic base, but I think in this instance we'll need some paid Facebook boosting as well. But it's about harnessing the power of the collective. It's about if every person in this group, all 9,000 plus of you, took the time to share the video to your network and even to one community group that you're part of, our engagement numbers would be off the charts. And it doesn't take much to share, and it's not controversial, and no one's going to think any less of you for sharing it. That's all we need, is just for everyone to step up, click that share button, and then boom, we've got the result we're looking for.
The reality is, at worst, and I don't believe there's going to be reprisals no matter what, and even if they were, it'd be targeted at me, not at anybody signing a petition, exactly. Right? Individual petitioners, the government can only see them on a piece of paper anyway. That's the way that petitions work, right?
Yeah. They
would have to then use somebody in the public service, which would be illegal, I do believe, to go through that and troll that. And as I said, it'd be a legal activity. It'd be something that you'd see in House of Cards or something like that. I don't believe Queensland politics is, that enshrined in that sort of stuff. They are trying to do the best they can for everyone, and I fully get that, and they're working bloody hard, right?
Yep.
But they have a blind spot, and that's what we want to draw attention to. So, build the campaign. So, build the campaign. Yep, we want a viral campaign. Look, I'm going to invest personally into this to help me build a war chest. I would love it if people join the directory. And you're advertising for the next 12 months to all 9,000 members of our community already and the greater public. You can join for as little as $50 a month, $50 a year, sorry. That's $1 a week. If you want to hire things so you can get more, you can get that. But that would be to build my war chest so that I've got money to actually take this fight further, wider, right throughout Queensland and do that. The cheap way of doing it is everyone grab it and share it. Right?
Absolutely.
And we're trying to do that.
What people aren't understanding is the sheer value of this group. I mean, what sets Brisbane small business apart, and trust me, I'm in literally thousands of groups, so I've got fingers in pies everywhere. But what I really resonated with this group is the quality of your content that you put out to your members. You're not just smashing us for sales. Like, you are giving us such great content on such a wide variety of different topics. And I see the genuine conversations that are happening on your posts. Like, people are emotionally invested, and that is worth money alone, because that's quality engagement. It's not just a quick like or it's a sales post. You've worked really hard to build a really strong community, and that's valuable. And and it's a testament to you that you've got so many members who can see that value.
And I really do appreciate it. And look, thank you. I've got to get better at accepting that sort of stuff, and I do appreciate what you've just said. So thank you. I won't breeze over that. It has been a hard road, and it has been, it's been at an emotional cost as well as a financial cost, of course. But it's because I am committed to trying to help small business do more business with small business. Okay, so at different times I've reached out to different levels of government to see if they'll support us, and they've gone, no, not so much. Yep. That may change in the future. I hope it does, because I do believe that we're offering an awesome service. So for this, we need to build a campaign. So we're going to encourage people to get on there and share this away. I'll also back it up with some dollars. Unfortunately, we do need to spend that with foreign corporations like Facebook and potentially LinkedIn and whoever else. But it's an important message, and that investment needs to happen. In fact, we have already started investing in a Facebook ad campaign to get it. We don't have the video done yet, but it was urgent. I need to get onto it. So we've done that with a heartfelt letter. So with building the campaign, what are the steps how do we go about doing that? So in case somebody wants to build their own campaign, what do they need to do?
Okay, so the great thing about Facebook now is it's really increased its ability to give us good metrics on both organic engagement and paid engagement. So the next step is to track your numbers. So now it's a data game. And this is where you come down to split testing. So you might have a piece of content, you post it at 8 o'clock at night, you use the video and copy, you've written copy and you post it. Let it run for a couple of days, track the engagement. And then you reformulate it, you switch it up, you keep the video, change the copy, run that again, track the engagement, do it again, change the video. You might change it to a static post with different copy and just keep split testing and tracking the numbers. And what was going to happen is you're going to find the best day and time to post. You're going to find the best copy and the best visual to post. And you're going to find the best time, like the length of time for your campaign, because you'll have all your numbers. And so from that, so any campaign, you really should allow yourself 3 to 4 weeks to get adequate data on it. So any campaign, so my clients for Mother's Day, we've started back in February, around Valentine's Day, planning for Mother's Day campaigns, because we need a split test our content to make sure it's reaching the right people. And then if you are utilizing sales funnels, so if you're wanting to drive people back to a website or a landing page, then you need that data to know what is the best way to get people down that funnel. And then once you got it, you replicate it.
Now, for everyone watching this, in relation to our campaign here, I don't really care what happens with the data. I'm sending people straight to the petition, right? So yeah. the only place your information is going is on that petition.
Of course, right? Yeah.
So
no, I'm not suggesting you're collecting people's
No,
data.
I get that. I just want to make sure people knew, because this is how, I'm not after anything personally about it. As I said, if the government was going to attack anyone about this, over the last 5 years, I've had about $250,000 worth of business out of the different grants from the Queensland government. Yeah. They could attack me and go, okay, anything with your name on it from now on doesn't get. I don't think they will, but it's not impossible, right? So all of a sudden that would. There is real money that I'm putting on the line, and I'm feeling really bare about this. I'm feeling near naked on that. So do that video.
When I say collect the data, I'm not talking about people's personal information. I'm talking about likes. I'm talking about frequency, reach, time of day, that type of thing. And the benefit to you is that something else might come up down the track, like as we come into election time, another issue may come up that's going to affect small business. So you need to get it out there and you need people to know about it. So what you've then created is this little template, so you know how to get your message out in the most effective way possible, because you've already done it.
And I do appreciate that then we can give Facebook more money to retarget the audience that we've found this time, but they can get it to that audience that care about these issues faster, and that's money well spent. Right. So, once again, look, now we're not saying small business is about to become a political machine or anything like that. We're really not. But if small businesses are being left behind, I'm going to stand up and shout from the rooftops about that. And that's what we're doing right now. Cool. So understand. So you can build your campaign, you can follow the metrics and work out who the best audience is. So you can keep refining, and then do a lookalike of them. I think you're about to mention, and get really awesome bang for your buck.
Yep, absolutely. And if you look at Obama's campaign and even, dare I say it, Donald Trump's campaign, their wins were based largely on how they handled their social media. And when they went into it, there was no data, there was nothing there, no path for them to follow with regards to social media. So they literally had to split test hundreds of thousands of images and copy till they found the right one that worked. And they just kept honing it. And then they were able to effectively reach the grassroots. And I think that's Scott Morrison applied that concept really well to his campaign as well. So it's definitely worth looking at and considering.
Love him or hate him, Donald Trump is one of the best marketers in the world, along with Kim Kardashian. So People want to put crap all over it, but look, she's made
Mhm.
billions of dollars. She's made billions of dollars. Cool. So build a campaign. Facebook, you can track organic versus paid. You can keep refining that so you're getting greater value for what you're looking for. And as I said at the start of the show, you don't just do Facebook. You encourage people to work across different stuff. You look at different solutions and you look at solutions at work. You showed me a video of this cleaner who was on TikTok. You know, as I said, I was able to use that bit of information really well and show my awesome social media knowledge. The one thing I do know is that I don't know a lot about social media. I know that Carolyn does, and I'm very grateful that she's giving us a hand on this. Have you got anything final to say, Ad?
No, I just want to encourage everyone out there. Like, I know it's so tough at the moment, but you can do this. Like, you can do hard things and you will get through it. And really, if you haven't already, put your time and your energy into your digital marketing, because that's where it's at. Like, everyone's on the internet, everyone's online now. So if you feel like you can't do it, or like, oh, how do I, there'll be someone in your network, in your family that is online. Ask them, reach out, just get started. That's all you need to do.
And what I'm going to encourage you to do is make sure that at the very start, you know your why and you know what you want to get out of your campaign. That's the pure thing. My goal is that we can get in excess of 5,000 signatures on this petition. The petition was put in a week ago today. We're at 600. And, that might not sound very good, but I actually believe we're tracking in an order of magnitude that we could well get that 5,000 because momentum is building. Right.
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty of it. So please, if you can help us out, once again, we'll share the bit.ly link for people to sign the petition. As I do, I feel like I'm almost spamming people with this. I will. I'll do that. I could do it now, but I wouldn't be able to wrap up as well. If you're looking for help and guidance on social media, I think that Carolyn has a few little videos already that she's got on social media somewhere. If she hasn't already got them on her directory listing, they'll be there really, really fast.
They will be. Yeah.
I'm going to encourage you to share some of them at appropriate days. Now, it's Thoughtful Thursday, so you're even going to come up with one thing for people to think about with their social media campaigns today before the end of the day. That's my challenge to you. Okay. To use the directory and to use the Facebook group for good. That's our goal, that we can help each other do more business together. My driving passion, and I'm sorry if I rant from time to time. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. That's a sorry not. This is what I want us all to be doing, more work with each other so that we're all more prosperous and doing great thing. We just lost you for a second, but you're back. I'm going to say goodbye. And Carolyn?
Okay. I'm frozen. I'm frozen.
No, you're not frozen. Just keep talking. Just keep talking. Just say goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. It's still going.